Steve and Stacy. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We are doing very well. How are you doing tonight, Steve?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
What makes you? What makes you? What makes you feel like you're doing very well?
When everything's lined up,
Right.
spirit, body, soul, mind.
When you text me earlier, you said it was ordained to happen, and I had to think about that.
Yeah, I think everything is. I really do. And in the end, at the end of the day,
Hmm.
I don't think there are any mistakes. We may make bad decisions, you know, and bad choices, but I don't think there are any mistakes.
I agree. I agree.
So, what would you like to talk about today?
I want to talk about everything today.
Okay.
I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
So I have been chosen by the Curry Boys Foundation to be honored and celebrated at their Legends Ball.
Uh oh. And when is that?
It's February 15th,
Okay.
and tickets are on sale at Eventbrite.
Okay. I was going to say anybody can attend.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Suit and tie.
Got to be suited and booted.
Okay. Sounds good.
Definitely. I want to give a shout out to Cardon Detroit because he is like the pulse of the city and he takes such good care of both Leo and Johnny. So
Okay.
all of those guys are just like phenomenal.
Yes. Okay. And when is it going to be again?
It's going to be Friday, December 15th.
Okay. And what time?
Um, Pretty sure it starts at 8 or 9, but I'll have all the information. I have all the information on my phone. I can check it right quick. But don't forget, because Saturday, December 16th, is Miss Patty's Christmas Gala. And
Okay.
Miss Patty is a fabulous socialite of Detroit. She's one of Detroit's jewels. And she gives like a percentage of her profits from the gala to buy things for the children of incarcerated mothers.
Oh, nice.
Right. So she's been doing this like every year. So
Okay.
yeah, most years I try to attend, but she does a lot for the neighborhood. So I would really like for everybody to go and support Miss Patty. Her gala is going to be down at Bert's Warehouse,
Okay.
and that's going to be December 16th, Saturday.
Okay.
And the Curry
Nice.
Boys is December 15th on Friday.
Okay.
And I'm going to be one of 7 honored.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's like you just do stuff, on a daily basis without even thinking about it, So when somebody tells you, hey, I want to give you your flowers now and I want to celebrate you and, you're doing good for the community, it just really makes you think because you don't think about that.
Yeah.
You just get up and do what you do and you help people. But when somebody's like, hey, it just really makes you think. So
Yeah.
I've been a little introspective on that.
Okay. Which kind of brings us to our topic today,
Yes.
because kicking it with Steve and Stacy is predicated on helping the youth, helping the kids, keeping them out of the juvenile halls and the youth homes, and eventually out of prison.
Yes.
And so we wanted to talk a little bit about parenting, right? Do you believe in corporal punishment? Do you believe in timeout? How do you feel that you should discipline your children in an effort to keep them out of trouble, to see that they grow up straight and walk the straight and narrow?
Hmm.
So, what is your take on corporal punishment? Do you think we should lay the rod on our kids from time to time, or not at all?
Well, personally, I was physically abused by my mother. So I don't believe in spanking a child. I've
Okay.
never, I just don't. I feel like there are so many other ways you can discipline your child. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I do strongly believe in, you need to start this from the age of 1. You can't let your child just get willy nilly, you know what I'm saying? And then at the age of 14, tell him or her, oh, you can't do that no more. Or, oh, yeah, you got to stop that. No, this is something that needs to start at an early age. You know what I'm saying? It's just really hard, for you to just like let your kid use profanity, throughout elementary school, and then in junior high school tell them, oh, you got to stop that cussing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever you do and however you do it, I really feel like this needs to start, at a young age.
And those are the formative years.
Yeah.
If you start early and you discipline them correctly, or you at least have a plan. This is how we're going to run the household. This is what we're going to accept. This is what we're not going to accept. Now I'll be 65 next month. And so I came up in an era when they didn't spare the rod.
Right.
They kicked your ass.
Period.
And you got whoopings and beatings and all the rest of that.
And you better not talk back, and you better not leave out this house and go tell nobody what happened.
Absolutely. East side of Detroit, the neighborhood was wonderful in the sense that every parent had the right to discipline every child that walked down that street. If they saw someone doing something that they had no business doing, they would correct them, and their parents wouldn't get upset. They would they'd applaud them and thank them.
And that's the way it was.
Right. Now, today, it's a little different.
Oh, yeah.
If you raise your hand at a child, you might get tackled. There's no telling what's going to happen. You're in the supermarket. You trying to do the right thing and raise your baby.
Wait a minute. The parents. Now, I'm not going to say all parents, because I don't like to maximize and I don't like to make blanket general statements.
Right.
But some of these parents, come on. I'm talking about the females that are out with the booty shorts on and the bonnets, smoking a black and mild, taking your child to school.
Yeah.
If your child does something wrong, and then another adult tells the child, hey, buddy, that's not good, don't go trying to run up on this parent. Put your switchblade away.
Yeah.
I just think I'm talking about it. I really just feel like we going to hell in a handbasket if we don't get it together.
Society has changed drastically. I mean, I'm 18 and I had a daughter, right? I didn't know her, but she was like 6 months old when I left. And her mom did a spectacular job in raising her.
Aww.
When the big three went on strike, she was like a spokesperson.
Awesome.
Yeah, doing a great job. But I also found out that this generation, most of the guys anyway, have a severe problem with older males.
They definitely, because they didn't have an older male. Let me tell you something. How many of them have fathers in the homes?
And I think that's a problem.
Seriously, how many of them have fathers in the homes? And how many were subjected to the mothers having numerous boyfriends?
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like, a lot of reasons why these things are occurring. It's not just, oh, well, what's happening? No. And I tell people all the time, learned behavior is deep.
Yeah.
Your children are what you are. Your children are what you showed them. Your children want to emulate you as a parent. You know what I'm saying? So if you're around here all day on the phone, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and you give your kid a phone, what's your kid going to do?
Exactly what you're doing.
Period. And then I'm going to tell you something. I don't know why they let these kids have phones in the classrooms. And then I even hear parents saying, what if they need me? Well, I went through like 10 years of school before I dropped out. And I never needed one of my parents. And when I did need them, when something happened, an accident or whatever, I went to the school office and they called my parent. And then my parent didn't answer. My grandmother was down as a secondary. So
right.
What changed between 1980 and 2023? I don't understand why parents feel like their child needs a phone in the classroom, knowing that the phone is distracting. The
Yes.
same thing the kids do at home on that phone, they're going to do it in class.
Right.
The kids are already distracted. So many kids these days are being tested for ADHD. So many kids are on the spectrum with autism. I personally feel like we're putting way too much on these kids. And then, what about the single parent homes? What about the parents that are drug abusers? What about the parents that are having baby after baby after baby after baby, and the oldest one have to babysit? And then when the oldest one leaves, the second, I mean, it's just a cycle, you know? And if we don't stop it, we're going to have a whole generation that's like really not good. And I really feel like we need to sit down and have a conversation about this. We need to change the narrative. Perfect example, and I know I'm going off the subject, but whew, prom season.
Mm-hmm.
I saw beautiful young ladies. I'm talking about absolutely beautiful. I saw a lot of A honor students, straight A's. But why they all looking like strippers?
You mean the way they dress?
Oh my God, those prom dresses. I saw one girl had a prom dress on that was like nude netting. And then like her boobs in her private area, they were like covered with beautiful material, but
It's
at
too
a prom,
much.
too much.
Because you're basically 16 when you go to the prom. Or right around there, right?
I was just like, I remember when I went to a prom with Terry Tyra for Southwestern High School.
Okay.
And we went to the Hyatt. And I mean, I had on a really nice dress.
Yeah.
It was a gown. But these days, I know some parents, I've heard parents talking about spending $1,000 and $1,500 on a gown.
Wow. You are watching Steve and Stacy live, Kicking It with Steve and Stacy, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, share, comment. Tell us what you think about the prom and how young girls should dress, as well as corporal punishment versus dialoguing with your children.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, I'm 18, I'm gone, so I had to take parenting classes. You know, I never practiced being a parent.
Right.
You know, I'm in prison. My baby is growing up, and so I said, well, let me at least go take a parenting class,
Right.
and try to figure out some things. You know, and so the funny thing about that was the people in the parenting classes probably didn't have children. A bunch of young students came up
Right.
from college and they're teaching these courses. And so they recommended or suggested that I tell my daughter all the bad stuff first, all the bad stuff about me. I'm not gullible, but you know, these are supposed to be the teachers.
Right.
So I said, okay, well, let me try this. And so I wrote my daughter a few letters and started with the bad stuff. She never wrote back. I never heard from my baby. So
Until when?
until she was 33, actually. I met her when she was 33. And we've been getting along great ever since.
Awesome.
But in the beginning, you know, to try to bridge the gap and get to
Right.
know her and let her get to know me, I said I would take their advice and write her all these old letters about the bad Steve. you know,
Right.
how I used to be.
Right.
And I don't think it worked out pretty well, but
But you know, that was just a learning experience
Yeah.
because God has something else in the plans.
absolutely.
You know, He knew when you were ready and when she was ready, He was going to bring the two of you together,
Yeah.
and it would be smooth sailing after that.
So what do you all think that the major problem is? You know, and let's just take Detroit, you know, urban parts of the city where children sometimes have to raise themselves. Now, what's the solution? What do we do? Because as I said, Little Peeps is predicated on helping kids.
And what is Little Peeps again?
Little Peeps is a nonprofit organization, and the word Little Peeps tells it all. It's about kids, children, little people who need direction and assistance, and big brothers, big sisters, whatever it takes to help these kids. Somebody has to start doing something in Detroit, because it's like you said, you're seeing things that you just shouldn't see, that don't make any sense.
Period. I don't feel like enough. I won't say that. I'll rephrase it. I feel like parents really need to be out here parenting. Because too many times, and it's like you almost want to say no fault of the parent, because we have a lot of good parents out here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of single mothers, a lot of single dads. We have parents out here that are really parenting for real with no help. But we have some parents, and I'm not going to even say they're bad parents.
They just don't know any better.
They don't know any better. They're distracted parenting. They spend too much time doing what they want to do for themselves. And I think they sort of forget that they have a little person, that they're responsible for. And another thing, I hear so many people say, ain't nobody helping me with this kid.
All right. Well, a lot of that is you don't have the information. Because there are organizations that's what they do. They help those in need. And we want to become one of those kind of organizations. And again, our mission statement is to keep the kids out of the youth homes, out of juvenile, and out of prison.
Period.
I'd rather see you in school. And I think I did a couple of very good things while I was gone. And one was to write my two little brothers, twins, Tim and Tom, as often as I could.
Yeah, that was major.
And it was, don't try to be like me. That was the thing. Don't do what I did.
That was a good thing.
You think I was cool because Tom thought I was cool. And Tim probably thought I was pretty cool too.
Right.
But if this is what my cool led to, then we have to get you off that page.
Yeah, we don't want you to be cool.
Because I'm not trying to see you in here.
But that's really honorable, because so many men go to prison and they really think that it's cool. Yeah. They really think, all the ill stuff that they were doing was cool. But that's because they haven't changed their mindset. They haven't gotten any therapy. They haven't accepted responsibility for the lives they destroyed. They haven't accepted accountability. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they just haven't come to grips with who they are and what they've done.
It's considered a badge of honor. As ridiculous as that is, it's considered a badge of honor amongst the younger generation to go to prison.
Right.
Like, what? My theory has always been everybody there got caught. Everybody there failed.
Period.
So there's nothing slick about going to jail. Nothing cool about getting caught up. Carrying pistols and being a badass.
Right.
Because it leads to somewhere you really don't want to be.
But that mentality.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of the gang mentality. The Crips, the Bloods, the Latin Counts, and whoever. But it's like, when they get into that mental space, they really think it's cool.
Yeah.
And some of them go to prison and they're just like, I ain't never leaving out of here, and I'll take somebody out if I want to.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what can you do?
Yeah. I'm working in the commissary, passing out store goods.
You was the bag man.
Yeah. And on this particular day, a youngster went off on an old guy. And I'm like, but the young guy's working with me. So I had to ask him later. I said, man, what's that all about? And he couldn't give me a good answer. A few weeks later, I'm in a little class, and there's another young guy in there. And I saw that he didn't gravitate towards the older guys, like he had a problem. So I started talking to him. I said, hey, man, what's up? What's going on? Why do you feel the way you do about us? And he told me, he said, man, all we respect is the streets and women. And I'm like, huh? He said, the streets raised us and our mothers tried. It's like you guys were gone. And so I'm pretty sure they felt abandoned. Your uncle is in prison. Your big brother is gone. You know what I mean? And so you have a whole generation in the joint who blame guys my age and a little older because we weren't there for them.
Right.
And so one of the things that I plan to do, intend to do, and I'm going to try every day is to be there now. To make a change, to make a difference now. I've got a second chance.
Definitely.
And so if I can breathe on some of these kids, if we can help them, then I've done a little bit of good. I've done my share of bad, so now it's time to do some good.
Respect.
So again, like, comment, subscribe, and tell us what you think about the state of our children today and how, just an idea, how can we help them to grow up to be law-abiding citizens, hard-working individuals, entrepreneurs, whatever.
And for you single mothers that are out there, you might be raising your kids, you might be raising your grandkids, you might need an extra ear, to tell whatever to. You might need somebody to just come and get your kid and, take you for a burger or something, or just to get you out the house. Give us a call, because we're more than willing to help. And we don't know where to start, but we have to start somewhere. Right. But what we do know is the state of young Black America in Detroit it's just it breaks my heart. Yeah. Because just watching the news every day.
And I could tell that they were looking for something. I'd go down on a writ to try to get my freedom. And there'd be a 12, 15 of them just in a circle on the ground. And I'm talking. And I'm telling them, telling them the things I've seen, the things I've witnessed, the things I've been a part of, And I can see in their faces, and some of them, they're like, oh, I don't want none of that.
Right.
And others, just the opposite. He ain't talking about nothing.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are on their way. But, we'd like to hear from you about how we can help our children.
Right.
What can we do? What kind of programs should be started?
Definitely. Because I just get tired of just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Let's put our words into action. What can we do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really, what can we do?
And if you know of programs, after-school programs, funding, let us know that we may be able to start after-school programs for these kids in some of these communities.
Right. Maybe one weekend we can go down to the Midway on Madison. I've been wanting to go down there anyway.
Okay.
Our ice skating rink is the same size. No, I think it's a little bit bigger than the one at Rockefeller Plaza.
Okay.
In New York. So I've been wanting to go down there. So I don't know, maybe kicking it with Steve and Stacy can go down there, and maybe, I don't know, the first 20 people, who come up, we can rent them some skates, or we can take them to the lodge. They got everything down there. They got hot cocoa, just to kick it. Yeah.
And that's what we do. This is Kicking It with Steve and Stacy Live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. And we thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
And in a few minutes, we're going to be opening up our phone lines because we really want this show to be interactive. You know what I'm saying? Um, you give us some ideas, we can chop it up, we can bounce ideas off of one another. We really want you to become invested in this because we're here every Wednesday from 7 to 8. And we come all the way from Genesee County. So we got like, what, a 59-minute commute?
That's right.
So this is really important to us. You know, we want to help our community, and we want to give back in some way.
Yeah.
So give us some ideas. You know, what can we do? We already said that we're collecting hats and gently used or new hats, scarves, gloves, socks, and we want to give it to the homeless population, jackets. So we're going to need to set up a date when we come downtown where people can drop it off to us.
Yes. Yes. Our number is 313-355-6018. Give us a call now or later. Comment now or later.
Definitely. And I have to say happy birthday to one of my fearless leaders, Tony Gant. And he works with Nation Outside. And my best friend, Dr. Ashley Golden, she just celebrated her birthday. So happy birthday to the two of you. And just so you know, Fruquay Bay, he is collecting donations. And I don't know if it's gently used coats, but he's doing a coat collection for the kids.
Okay.
So you can contact him, Fruquay Bay. He's at the Temple, and he's
Temple
right
25 on Grand River, I think it is.
Temple 25 on Grand River, and he's also on Puritan and Wyoming.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's a really good guy. So we're trying to get the word out to as many people as possible. There is help. You know, you don't have to feel like you're sitting in the house alone and those kids are running you crazy. You know,
Right.
You don't have to feel like you have to do this all by yourself because we can sit down and we can come up with some resources. So give us a call.
Yes.
You know, the first step, what is it? The first step to help?
Is to ask for help.
Yes,
The first step is to realize you need it.
acknowledging.
Absolutely. And the second is to man or woman up and say, I need help.
Yeah, and it's nothing wrong with you sitting in a house with 4 or 5 kids and feeling like you're about to lose your mind.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. You know, give us a call. Let me help you help yourself. That's what Coach Stacy says.
And let me help you help yourself. And as I said, I had great parents, but Dad, he put it on us. If you did something wrong, but he's a preacher too, and so if you did something wrong, he would bite that little butt, and you'd cry a little bit, but he loved you.
Right.
Because he'd pick you up later on and spin you around and say, oh boy. But if you did wrong, he popping that whip.
Period.
And as I said, I'm about 7 or 8 when he and my mom split up. And she took over. She popped that whip.
And did a good job.
And so I'm the only child of 7 who went astray. And so I think that there is some benefit to putting a whooping on a child every now and then, spanking that little butt. When you don't, I think, they don't understand all the barriers. They don't get it when you tell them not to do something and it's for their good, until they do it and then they're hurt and now they're crying, So sometimes to keep them from running out into the street, you got to spank that little butt. Come here now. What I tell you about that? And look at this car. Kind of explain it to them as well.
And see, I think that makes a big difference. Don't just pop it.
Right.
Don't just pop it and not say it. I think that makes a big difference. Don't just pop it.
Well, now. Don't just pop it. We got a call or something.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, how you doing? You're on Kicking It with Steve and Stacy. Who's this?
This is Thomas McCrary.
Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Stephen.
Hello,
How are
Thomas.
I'm good. Thank you. Now, have you met
I wanted
Stacy?
to. Yes, I have.
Okay.
I wanted to just call and really quick, just share something with you. So I want to first thank you for all those letters you wrote to me when you went away. I have most of them. I have about 80% of them still.
Okay.
And I have them in sort of like sequential order, which is interesting. And one day I'll share that with you.
Okay.
But those letters were very helpful in keeping me out of trouble and keeping me focused on the things that I needed to do in life, because Detroit was tough at that time, and a lot of my friends went astray. So I want to thank you for that. I think in regards to our young people, I think it comes down to love, compassion, and support.
Okay.
And I think, and trust. I think that a lot of our young people just have issues with trusting the adults, right? The men definitely, and even some of the women now. And so I think it comes down to that. And I think that if we can work to get those pieces in order, that we can save our young people, because they do want to be saved. That's the key. But
Absolutely.
We have to do it in a way that moves in a direction that they know they can, because a lot of them just don't know that they can. So that'd be it. So I wanted to call and say that, and I'm going to let you back to it. And I love your podcast, by the way, you and Stacy both. It's getting strong and it's gaining momentum, and I really enjoy listening. So we're sitting here listening to you tonight and watching you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate the support.
Love, compassion, and trust.
Love, compassion, and trust.
Yeah. And the thing that my mom,
I'm going to put that in my notes.
the thing that my mom gave us more than anything else was love. And there's nothing like it in the world. It's a concept. We've all heard about it. When we like somebody, we tend to say we love them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this unconditional love that my mom had and gave the 7 kids and the kids in the neighborhood that had a profound impact on everybody that she met. There are still kids today, and one of the first things they see if they see you is your mom alive? Is Miss McCrary still alive? I remember her. Matter of fact, I got a little thing today on Messenger. A guy said, "Man, I remember your mom at Scripps Elementary." And I was like, yeah, that was Mom.
You know what? I believe that, because ever since the first day I met your mother, she has been loving on me, and I've been loving on her. I call her my dear.
Love is the key.
My husband said, "Is that my dear?" I said, "No, it's my dear." And it's just the way she looks at me, the way she talks to me, the way she holds my hand, the way she embraces me. I mean, I can just imagine if she's giving that to me right now, what she gave you all back then.
It's incredible.
Oh my goodness.
The ability to love is amazing.
Yeah,
To
but
know that you're loved
oh my goodness.
is even more amazing. To know that you're loved in spite of everything.
Unconditional love.
You could make a mistake. And she tell us, look, tell me the truth.
Right.
Don't lie to me.
Right.
I'm gonna be with you, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so you make a mistake, she'll ask you, did you do that?
Right.
And you got to say yes. You ain't play no lies.
Right.
Yes, Mom. Or yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And then she do what she can to help you out of the situation.
Right.
Even if that was one time, again, I'm a bad little juvenile.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see this guy come out of the grocery store with 2 big grocery bags.
Mm-hmm.
And this big ass wallet, I see it on top of one of the bags.
Right.
So I run, jump, spring off a post, the light post. I spring, jump up, snatch the bag, and
Right.
take off running. Well, one of her friends
Saw you.
was making a turn in her car, saw me, told Mom. Mom grabbed me, took me down to the police station, and made me give it back. And I was like, what the? And at the time, you mad at your neighbors, like, why'd she turn me in? Well, she's doing right by you. You might not understand it
And
now.
that's the bottom line.
And years later, these same people were at my public hearings.
See?
But that's love. That's the love we had from that generation. And it seems that we've lost it.
And we have.
And we need to get back to
Yeah,
it.
we have, because I was having a conversation with one of my girlfriends, and her son had gotten into some trouble. And she was like, that's my son, my sunshine. I'ma love him right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm like, hold on, wait. I said, so you know what your son did? And she said, yeah, I know what he did. But he's innocent until they prove him guilty. I said, okay, well, between me and you know what your son did, and you know he was wrong.
Straighten it out.
Period.
Right.
She said that she was going to stand by her son, right, wrong, or indifferent. Mm-hmm. I said, no, what you need to do is you need to call an attorney. You need to get your son some counseling. You need to go and turn your son in. She acted like I was the worst person in the world. Mm. She said, I hope people don't pay you to give them that type of advice.
Right.
I was like, okay.
But you have to help them become accountable and responsible.
Exactly. You know? But think about it like this. If the parent isn't accountable, if the parent isn't responsible, her and her son about to go on a run together.
Mm-hmm. My mother drugged me down to the 5th precinct. Like, come on.
Right.
Explain the situation to the folks.
Period.
You know, and I'm sure the information that was needed to get in touch with this guy was in this big ass wallet.
Exactly.
And so he got his stuff back, and I got, my little backside tapped up. But that's a good thing.
Exactly.
And we need more of it today.
We do. We definitely do. And it's like, I find a lot of people, they just get so defensive. Mm. When you try and tell them something, they're just like, it's almost like they come out a whole different bag. But what I've come to realize is that they can't tell their children the right thing, because a lot of times they were never told the right thing. Mm-hmm. So if they've grown up in this culture, just imagine what the narrative is for them.
Right.
Like, I had a girlfriend who watched her mother get physically abused by her father. Now she's getting physically abused by her boyfriend. Mm. And the young daughter is getting physically abused by her boyfriend, and they're in high school.
It's a cycle.
It's a maddening cycle, but where does the cycle stop? At some point, the cycle of dysfunction has to be broken somewhere. But who's brave enough to stop? Right. You got the grandmother, the mother, and the mother, the daughter, and the daughter.
Yeah.
But where does it stop?
Yeah.
That's what really makes me more sad than anything, because it's like, if you try to talk to them about it, they're the first ones to tell you, stay out of my business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, what do you do?
Mm. Well, if you need someone to talk to the children, give us a call. We will come to the school. We will come to the youth home. We will come to the juvenile center. And we will talk to these children, dialogue with them, tell them things that they can expect, very real things that they can expect, if they continue along the lines they're going now. So, again, comment, subscribe, like, because you're watching Kicking It with Steve and Stacy, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
And you can look me up on Instagram. So I am at _Stacy_Barker_story. So it's the Stacy Barker Story on Instagram. And you can also find me on Facebook at Stacy Barker. You can inbox me, reach out.
Yeah. And see, I'm like Rumpelstiltskin. Right. Sat on the road, on the side of the road, and slept for how many years?
41.
Well, 41 for me. So I don't know much about Facebook or Twitter or X or anything else. I'm trying. I'm getting there.
You're not trying. When you try, that's failing with honor. So you can say, well, at least I tried. No, we're not going to try around here.
I'm working it out slowly.
We're just going to do it.
That's right.
Like Nike, just do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you can think of anyone that you'd like to see on the show as a guest, or you know of someone who has an interest already in helping children and they need a little help, plug us up, hook us up, put us together, give us a call.
Definitely. And make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to WJZZ Cool TV.
The coolest station in the world.
Exactly.
So getting back to corporal punishment.
Yes.
You don't agree?
No, I don't agree. But have you ever watched the nanny? What was the nanny's name? She was from Britain. It was she had a whole show. She had like 10 seasons.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name though.
What was that nanny's name? Oh, I gotta look this up.
Okay. And while she's doing that, I don't agree with beating children. I don't agree with beating anyone, But I do agree or think that there should be some kind of discipline that allows a child to be a child and let the parent be an adult and say, look, that's not good. That's not how we do things. And so I'm going to discipline you as opposed to beat you. My father and my mom said he had a nervous breakdown. I don't know. But I know that when he went from the pool pit to the pool rooms, when he went from preaching to gambling, and he was losing, he would whoop my brother, who was his guy. They looked alike. Michael was the firstborn, and my dad would put a whooping on him. And a couple of times I tried to step in, and take some of that, take the brunt, but he wouldn't have any of it. And so I obviously don't agree with anything like that. But chastising and disciplining, I think, are instrumental in helping our children to become fine adults. Did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It was called The Super Nanny.
Oh.
And she was from Britain, and her name was Jo Frost. But let me tell you what she said.
Okay.
And this is why, I don't know, it's just hard for me to just even agree with corporal punishment.
Okay.
Although with me being open-minded and believing that everybody has a right to have their own opinion and to do, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I don't have to do it. And, just don't do it in front of me. But it says that Jo Frost has been helping people since 1987. Now I'm helping families all over the world online. I offer this unique, tailored service to guide and educate you so that you can experience your parenting journey more confidently and with more peace. Let's do this together.
Okay.
So, right. So, did you want to say something?
No, what's the premise behind that?
So, the premise, what I get out of it, I have to read a little bit more. But the premise to me is she's going to teach you how you can parent better, more effectively, more efficiently by becoming more confident and at peace with yourself. Because like I always say, working on self. If you are not together, what makes you think you can help somebody else get it together? Mm. Think about it. Even your child. Mm. That's why I tell people, you got to have self-love. You got to believe in yourself. You got to be at peace with yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You got to love yourself. I've made a few postings and I was like, yeah, I believe in myself. Sure do. And a couple of my friends said, Stacy, you don't think that's a little bit cocky? And I tell them, absolutely not.
Right.
Because if I don't love myself, if I don't believe in myself, if I don't worship myself, if I don't take care of myself, how can I take care of anybody else? I always go back to what the stewardess tell you on the airplane. whose mask do they tell you to put on first?
Yours.
Exactly.
Right.
And some people really get pissed at me when I tell them that I love myself just a little bit more. And they're just like, what? Wait, hold on, wait. I thought you loved me. I do love you. But I love me a little bit more. And it's like, I remember a time when I didn't love me.
Okay.
I remember a time when I was a people pleaser. I remember a time when I was doing things, self-sabotaging, hurting myself, doing stuff that, really screwing myself over. So it took years of therapy and reinventing myself, looking at myself in another way, before I started liking myself and loving myself. And, I'm just so unapologetic for it because at the end of the day, I love Stacy. And I'm always going to do what it takes to make Stacy the woman that she's ever evolving into, because I don't feel like I'll ever be, fully evolved. Okay. I feel like I'm just going to always be ever evolving because my philosophy is I learn something new every day and I help one person every day.
Now, has that helped you to be a good parent?
Well, my child is an adult, so I don't focus on parenting.
Okay.
But I help other people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm able to help them because I know about the mistakes that I made. Yes. I know about, the things that I did. I know the things that I said. And I feel like that's why Coach Stacy is such a success, because Coach Stacy can help you get it together. Because like I tell my clients, where did it start? Because you have all the content. I don't know what you went through. But what I can do is help you get it together and put it in the boxes and help you with those coping skills.
Make that your foundation.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? From learned experience and from life experience. Oh, I can help you get it together.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of parents need that,
They do.
Especially these days.
They do.
Because, divorce is on the rise.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes.
Adultery, infidelity.
All on the rise. And so you have single moms, single dads. They're doing the best they can,
They are.
Some are working 2-3 jobs, trying to take classes and courses and get it together, as you said. But it's difficult.
It is very difficult, and that's why we're out here listen to me tomorrow, trying. That's why we're out here helping the community. So let us know how we can help you. Let's sit down and talk about it.
Yes, we love to help. We are predicated on helping. And we are helping.
And we know people.
in the smallest ways right now, but we're growing.
Definitely. So what you can do to help us is subscribe.
Yes.
Because you are watching Kicking It with Steve and Stacy live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. So like us. Go on Facebook. Go on Wjzz Cool TV. Like us. Follow us. Share, comment, and subscribe. And while you're at it, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and find us.
Yes. For we are there.
We're definitely there. So what are you going to do this weekend?
Well, I think I'll go to the Curry Boys thing for Friday. May not make the
December 15th, Friday.
Right, December the 15th. Oh, you saying this weekend? Excuse me.
That's okay.
I don't think we have anything planned for this weekend, which is good because I'm usually very busy. Too much is going on. I need a weekend of rest and recuperation.
Well, let me tell you. I have been waiting to see Napoleon. I have been waiting for it to hit the theaters.
Okay.
So the day after Thanksgiving, me and my husband, we had our date night. Oh, my God. Napoleon?
Did you like it?
Yes, but I did not know he was as freaky deaky as he was with Josephine. I was like, oh, what? Yes, but it was so good. I was just like, Yeah.
And on that